All right, let's talk about this one. For any Michigan State fan, this was just a tough pill to swallow. A rivalry game at home that started as a total nightmare before turning into, well, something else entirely. We're going to break down MSU's roller coaster loss to Michigan and figure out what it really tells us about this team moving forward.
And that really says it all, doesn't it? This quote from Graham Couch, it just perfectly captures that feeling of watching the first half. You know, it really felt like the floor was just falling out from under the Spartans. So let's get into just how bad it was and how in the world they clawed their way back.
Because this game was the absolute textbook definition of a tale of two halves. I mean, it was a story of a team that went into the locker room looking completely lost and came out looking like they could beat anybody.
To put it bluntly, the first 20 minutes were a disaster. It wasn't just that Michigan was playing better. They looked bigger, longer, and honestly just way too much for MSU to handle. At a 16-point deficit, it really felt like the game was already over. And those big questions about this team's ceiling, they were getting louder and louder.
But then the second half happened. And what's so wild is just the complete 180. The team that was outclassed and demoralized came out with that familiar grit, that tenacity we expect. They played with determination, they erased that huge deficit, and incredibly, they even took the lead. It was like watching a totally different team.
And so much of that energy, so much of that comeback was fueled by one guy. MSU's point guard just decided to put the team on his back and simply refused to lose. He completely, and I mean completely, took over the game.
31 points, a brand new career high. And get this, 19 of those came after halftime. He was just unstoppable, getting to the rim, finding his teammates, and single-handedly willing his team back into the fight. It was an absolutely heroic performance, even in a loss.
But for all that effort, for all that fire, the comeback, it fell short. So what happened, right? Why couldn't they seal the deal? Well, it came down to a very simple and, let's be honest, a very frustrating problem.
You know, Oakland coach Greg Camp said this way back in December, and it's kind of become the unofficial motto for this team. Their success hinges on one giant if. And this game, it proved him right in the most painful way possible. The potential is there, absolutely, but it's conditional.
And this is the number that's going to haunt them. 4 for 23. You simply cannot win a big game against the talented rival shooting like that from beyond the arc. That's not even 18%. So the tenacity was there, the fight was there, but the touch just wasn't. This chart right here really puts it into perspective. Just look at all those misses. It is not an exaggeration to say that if just 2 or 3 more of those shots fall, we're talking about a signature comeback win instead of a really scarring loss. The margins in these games are just that thin.
Okay, but it wasn't all bad news. In the middle of that disastrous first half, the coaching staff made a change that might just have revealed a crucial answer for the rest of the season.
So they're down 16, they're looking for a spark, any spark at all, and the coaches put their trust in a freshman, Jordan Scott, to start the second half. That is a huge vote of confidence in a crazy high-pressure moment, and boy did he deliver.
His stat line was solid, sure, but his impact went way beyond the numbers. I mean, he played almost the entire second half. He had the bucket that cut the lead to 2, and then the driving layup that actually gave MSU the lead. His energy and his activity completely changed the dynamic of the game.
And what this really showed is that against big, long, athletic teams like Michigan, Jordan Scott isn't just an option. He might be the answer. He proved he can be a real difference maker when the stakes are at their highest. So this is where we're left. A loss that exposed a critical weakness in shooting, but also revealed a newfound toughness and a potential star in the making. The question now is, which of those two things is going to define the rest of their season? I guess only time will tell.